Hi guys, welcome back. Part 3 of the Space Marine Codex review, the new Space Marine Codex. The past two videos we've seen, first video we went through a lot of the fluff section of the book. Second video we went through the artwork, tons and tons of artwork in this book. Now that has taken us over halfway through the book just in the fluff and the artwork. Shows how they've put a lot of effort into sort of getting us involved emotionally with the Space Marines. Almost how you would get involved in a movie or a novel or something like that. It's making you want to commit to that army, to that sort of faction. It's making you want to sort of feel something for them. Really, really well done. Just like I say, like a movie or a book, you want to sort of find out what happens to those characters. Only difference with this is you make what happens to those characters in the game yourself. Now, this section, we're going to go through the section on forces of the Space Marines, which is some of the formations, the units, and different options that you've got now. Also, it goes through sort of things like the war gear, the data slates. Now, I'm not sure if we'll get to the formations apart from the first one. The main sort of split down formations might come into the next video. Now, Force of the Space Marines, the first thing you'll see on this is the Gladius Strike Force. The Gladius Strike Force is impressive. It's essentially allowing you to combine numerous different formations to create one big formation. However, you get the benefits for each of the smaller formation, and then you get added benefits for putting those formations together. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Now, there are some restrictions on it. The restrictions are, you'll see all of these are iconed. All these are all the formations that are in here at the moment. Now, you'll see they're all marked up with different icons. The different icons mean different things. You'll see down here you've got core. You have to take 1 to 2 core as a minimum in the Gladius Strike Force. You've then got 1 auxiliary. The auxiliary are normally heavy support, assault, that sort of stuff. And then you've got 0 to 3 command, okay? So you have to take 1 to 2 core, 1 plus of auxiliary, and 0 to 3 command. So you could take no command, but you have to take no more than 3. Now, just because you don't take a command formation doesn't mean you don't take an HQ in your army to make you battle forged if possible. So we'll go through the formations individually later on, probably in the next video. The benefits of taking the Gladius Strike Force. First one, Codex Astartes. If your army contains 1 or more Gladius Strike Forces, you can enact each of the combat doctrines, so Devastator, Assault or Tactical, once per game. When each combat doctrine is enacted, all models in your army with the chapter tactics rule that are part of the Gladius Strike Force are affected. So basically, it doesn't matter what chapter you are. If you take this strike force, you can use every one of the combat doctrines once in the game. So all 3 of them once in the game, instead of just whatever one you choose for that specific unit. It also affects your entire army. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. Next one, company support. If a Gladius Strike Force includes 2 Battle Demi Companies, now Battle Demi Company is this formation here, again that will go through later on, one including a captain and the other including a chaplain, then together they form a battle company. Basically a Demi Company is like half a company, so putting them together will create a whole company. So any unit from the battle company that has the option to take a Rhino, Razorback or Drop Pod as a dedicated transport may take one at no points cost, though they must pay additional for upgrades and options as normal. So I don't know if you guys have just clocked that, but if you take a battle company, every single unit that can take a transport gets it for free. That is just ridiculous. Effectively, if you lay down 10 units on the table, say all of them can take transports, most stuff can, you're basically looking at 10 free Razorbacks or 10 free drop pods. That is massive. You put 10 free Razorbacks on the table, you're probably not even going to put your units in them. Why would you? You can only get 5 in there. But you're getting 10 free twin-linked las cannon shots, or it's just massive, absolutely massive. Free drop pods. So say we get 5 free Razorbacks, throw them on the table. 5 free drop pods. Run your Razorbacks up, drop your drop pods behind the army. You're coming in from both sides. They're gone. They're gone. Absolutely, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So the Gladius Strike Force, I think, is something that we are going to see a lot. It is going to open up so many options for these guys. It's a huge, huge formation. So whatever you guys think about this, let us know. Pop it in the comments. I'd love to get a discussion started on this. So let me know what you guys are going to do with this, because it's huge. It's absolutely huge. As I say, we'll go through the individual formations in a different video. But just this on its own, massive. Now, we'll start going into the datasheet section. As usual, you've got the bit here explaining what the datasheet is, what different parts of the datasheet are. We don't need to know about that. We know what we're looking at. If you don't, guys, obviously when you get the Codex, you're going to be able to read through this. Now, you've got your standard war gear list here. It explains to you what all the war gear is that you can add on to stuff and the points cost for it. So you will need to be flicking back from each data sheet. You will have to always be flicking back to this page to get your costs for your added on extras. Bit of a pain, I know. Why they can't just put the points straight into it is a little bit annoying, but they've gone quite keen on these guys can take things from the special items, special weapons, and it's a bit of a pain, but that's what we've got, guys. It is nice to see it all on one page, because obviously it's easy to compare the points cost of different items, but it's a little bit of a pain, I will admit. On to the data sheets. Now, as usual, we start with all the characters. Characters are always laid up first. You'll see they've gone with the new sort of layout that we're starting to see in all the codexes now. You've got the characters, you've got their stat lines, obviously war gear, warlord traits if they have their own warlord traits, and special rules for that particular characters. A lot of the independent characters have got their own specific special rules, which is really nice because it gives them their own sort of feel, their own flavour, which is really, really nice, rather than just giving them generic stuff that you could just put onto a captain and have the same thing for less points. So really nice to see this stuff. Now you see we've got the standard guys, so Sicarius, not sure again how we say this, Tigarius or however everyone wants to say his name. These guys haven't really changed that much. Most of these guys have all got chapter relics, or at least one as an independent character. Really nice. Most of them are, again, they've got their own warlord traits. The warlord traits are just one straight out of the book though, rather than specific to that particular character. Chaplain Cassius, I absolutely love this model. Just a shame that he's so ultramarined up, because I would love to have him in my Astral Claws, but unfortunately no can do on that one. Telion, again, model we've seen before, really nice stuff there. Sergeant Cronus. Now in this book, this guy is heavily used in formations and things like that. There's some tank formations and things that this guy can buff, and he can also get out. So once the vehicle that he's actually in is destroyed, he can come out of that vehicle, which is very interesting. It does say that here, if it's wrecked or explodes, he is treated as a passenger, so he can obviously come out as long as he survives the damage. Khan there, again, just same old model, really nice stuff. Now I'm not going to go into stats and stuff for these guys, you're going to have to get the Codex yourselves to go through that. But again, they've all got really nice photography on these pages, really nicely laid out, with the fact that you can see quite easily what type of unit they count as, what the points cost is, chapter relics. Is a good way of being able to just quickly flick to that page and go, right, this, done. Really nice to see a good layout. Now if we keep going through, you've got Lysander, Cantor, you've got the Black Templars, which everyone sort of thought they weren't going to be in this one. They are. So yeah, I mean, you can keep using them out of this decks, as long as you sort of well, I mean, just count them as normal sort of Black Templars, you know. Again, more Templars. You've got some nice artwork there, kind of shows that section is a section in itself. Then we go into the more generic guys, so generic captains. You see, obviously, we've got nice sort of big options for these guys. You can really sort of customize the standard stuff. So you've got captain, librarian. Now, again, not going to go into details about points differences, point changes, anything like that, because at the end of the day, GW wouldn't appreciate it. Tech Marine, really nice double page spread for Tech Marine, because obviously we can look into things like adding in servitors, special rules. They've got a lot of their own special rules, which are quite big special rules. Yeah, so you've got everything you need on there for the Tech Marines. A lot of detail, big detail. Chaplains, tactical squads. Now tactical squads, obviously you see the image, they've used the new tactical squads, which are quite nice. Again, big options for a tactical squad. Not much has changed though, so not much to go through again there. Scout squad. So we've got Scout Squad, which are again, there's a big formation for the Scout Squad. We'll go through that in the formations video. Crusader Squad, still again, Black Templars are in this book, so they are very quickly swept over in the fluff section. So maybe they might get a supplement, but all their units are in here. All their units are in here to be able to create your own army for them. So we'll wait and see if we're going to get the supplement, but I know a lot of people will want it. Command Squad, nice to see nice imagery there again for Command Squad. It's just a little bit sort of bland at the fact that just everything is Ultramarines. Again, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're lovely. They have a lot of detail. They do a lot of stuff on the Ultramarines, but it just would be nice to see them maybe take a back step for a little while. Let someone else have the limelight. Being a bit sort of straight down the middle guys, there's any danger of seeing something with a little bit more flavour. Honour Guard, obviously, you see there as well. Centurions, they've got a nice bit of artwork going on here. Then we've got the veterans. You'll see obviously the Vanguard are much cheaper than the Stern Guard. Now the Stern Guard again can come with a lot of weaponry, a lot of good weaponry. There are some things to do with these guys. Obviously they can take their special ammunition for their bolters. They can have the different type of rounds. There are some special rules that allow you to re-roll and things like that. That specifically state now that even Stern Guard can use them with their different types of ammunition. So that could be big. That could be very big. you got stern guard with special ammunition aimed at a certain squad, so you lay them on the table with a specific goal. They could potentially do quite a bit of damage as long as you've geared them up correctly. We've got dreadnoughts now. As far as I'm aware, let me just double check in the old Codex. Just want to check the stat line of the old dreadnoughts. Bear with me. Okay, yeah, so straight away, which I thought was correct, they've gone up to 4 attacks each. Now they came with 2 standard before, so they've gone up to 4. That's standard, so that's huge. On the charge, obviously you've got 5. That's massive. It's sort of starting to make a dreadnought viable on the table. 4 attacks, 100 points. I'd be laying them down just stock. Don't buff them up. Don't need to buff them up. 100 points, dreadnought, 4 attacks. Run it up the table, get it in some combat, shooting its assault cannon on the way up there. Why not? Why not? Sounds good. Venerable. Basically, you just get a bump in the weapon skill, ballistic skill. Also can reroll vehicle damage results, which is really, really big. But an extra 25 points, is it worth it? Yeah, I'd probably say it is worth it. 25 points for an extra BS and WS, and re-rolling damage could be the difference between an explodes and a, I don't know, crew shaken, you know. So really, really good, really good. You've got the ironclad there. The ironclad again is 35 points more than a standard, but he has got much higher armour. He's on a 13 on the front and side. So, like I say, is it worth it? Personally, I've never been a big fan of the ironclad, but I'll let you guys decide on that. Legion of the Damned, people thought they weren't going to be in the book. They're back in the book. So, nice to see them in here. Points cost 125 points for 5. Now, people might think that sounds quite a lot, but when you look at these guys and what they have, potentially they could be pretty big. They could be a big player on your table. Now, they have a 3-up invuln save. 3-up invuln save is huge. That could make them very, very survivable. You've also got different special rules for them. So ranged attacks made by the Legion of the Damned have ignores cover. So 3-up invuln and ignores cover. Yeah, I mean, these could be beasts on the table, absolute beasts. And I just think the models are absolutely amazing. The models are fantastic. They're old. They've not needed to be changed. They're still brilliant. I'm tempted to buy a squad of these just to put in my cabinet, just to have a little look at them, you know, let alone play with them, you know. Terminators. A lot of people a bit disappointed with Terminators. A lot of people thought that they were going to get a buff, that they were going to go up to 2 wounds. Personally, I completely agree that they should have. Yeah, Terminators are great with a 2-up save. However, the amount of times I have lost a squad of Terminators just by sheer number of shots. These guys are meant to be the elite of the army. They're meant to be nigh on indestructible. I mean, I don't know if you guys, a lot of you might have read the Space Wolves novels like Battle of the Fang, things like that. These guys are in Terminator armour. They're getting hacked at constantly and just get up and carry on fighting. They're meant to be the guys that no one can get through, that their armour is impenetrable. And yeah, 2-up save is great, but there's only so many 2-ups you can roll in a number of odds. Now, they should be able to withstand getting a little sort of getting stabbed in the leg and carry on. You know, they should have more than 1 wound. Unfortunately, we didn't see it, so they haven't changed. Not that I'm aware of, even in points. Let me just double check the points from the last Codex, if I can find them. bear with me. So Terminators, can't even find them in here. That's how little I've actually used them. So they've dropped in points. They've gone to 175. They were 200. So yeah, it's nice to see a points drop, because 200 points was painful to lose a 200.1 squad. Still not sure if I'll take a lot of them. Unfortunately, they don't really shout out to me. Assault squad. Assault squads are beautiful now. They've got their new kit, apart from the dude with a massive forehead. They, however, have got some good formations in here for these guys. So again, we'll go through that later on. Scout bikes, not really changed. They are cheap though, which is nice. Massive thing on scouts, sorry, that I've forgotten to mention there. A lot of people have already heard scouts have gone up to weapon skill and ballistic skill 4 instead of 3 like they were in the last Codex. That is huge in itself. Again, link that in with one of the formations that we'll talk about later on. Really, really big move for them. Standard Space Marine bike squad, nothing really changed there. Attack bike, again, nothing really changed. Land Speeders Storm and normal Land Speeders, not too much changed. Again, included in a formation later on, but I just never think we're going to see that many of these guys, to be honest with you. There's just not that much going for them. Rhinos and Razorbacks, again, Gladius Strike Force, you can get these for free, which is huge. I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of these on the table. I've got quite a few Rhinos for my Astral Claws company. I would love to see them all laid out in a big armoured line. Be really nice. Drop pods again, potential of getting them for free. Big aid for your Marines. Storm Talons. Never played with a Storm Talon, so I couldn't tell you much about them. I've never bought one purely for the fact that I don't like how they look. I just think they look a little bit silly. Some guys love them though. There is again a formation that we'll go through with these guys later on. Devastator squads and Centurion Devastator squads. Biggest thing with these guys is the grav cannons and grav amps, and you have the option as well of taking this like little cherub guy, ammo cherub. Can take him if you want. It's only 5 points. Might be worth it. Devastator Centurion squad, again, grav cannons and grav amps. Just get all of these in there. If you're going up against an Eldar army, this is what you want to be taking. Thunderfire cannons. Everyone loves a Thunderfire cannon. Again, there is a formation with Tech Marines that this could really be played into really well. Predators, again, not much changed. Whirlwinds, there's a formation that might open up Whirlwinds to you. And Vindicators, I've always loved Vindicators just for the fact that they do a lot of damage. They're brilliant. Hunters and Stalkers, not too much has changed on those. A couple of changes to the weapons, but nothing sort of drastic. Storm Raven, not too much change. 200 points though. I'd much rather take a Forge World flyer than a Storm Raven. Personally, I go with a Fire Raptor. There's just a hell of a lot more that can do. Land Raiders, Crusaders and Redeemers. All three of those, not really much changed. Still huge amount of points. Some people love Land Raiders. Again, personally, I kind of look at a Land Raider and think, well, effectively I'm just using it to run someone up the table when I could just drop pod it in for 30 points. So, up to you guys, but yeah, you can do damage with them if you get the right opportunities, but they're not a great deal to me. Marnius Calgar is now a Lord of War. This was rumoured. The rumour is true. He is a Lord of War. 275 points is massive. again, because I'm not an Ultramarines player, I've not played with him, but as far as I'm aware, from everyone that I know that has played with him, he's just a beast, an absolute beast. He's got a lot of special rules for himself. He's got a God of War, so he's not even just a Lord of War, he's a God of War. Now, he can specifically choose his Warlord trait rather than having to roll off randomly for it. And he can also, if he's obviously your Warlord, he's got this special rule here, Master Tactician. If Marneus Calgar is your Warlord, you can choose to enact a single extra combat doctrine. So basically, if you've got your combat doctrines and you've used them, you can use one again, which could be huge. He's still got his Power Fists, standard ×2, AP2, melee. They're not specialist weapons, so he can obviously gain his extra attacks from those. He's also got the bolters that are on his Power Fists now. 24-inch range, strength 4, AP 2, assault 2. So again, lovely for basically just bolt weapons. He's also got his Terminator armor is a special type of Terminator armor that doesn't stop him making a sweeping advance, and it also includes a teleport homer. Two big benefits if you're playing him and you've already got him on the table, you want to drop stuff in. Now, next is the formations. The formations we're not going to go into until the next video, guys. I hope you've liked this one going through the different units. Please get a discussion started on this video. Let's talk about what you guys are going to do with the units. What you've seen that's changed, how you're going to play them differently, or if you're just going to stick with how you've been playing with them. What do you do? Let us know, guys. Stay tuned for the next video that we're going to go through the formations. The formations are massive. Hope you like this one, and see you in part 4, guys.